Ladies and gentlemen, today is a special day because it is the Call of Duty Vanguard Alpha. So this is on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, and it is only one game mode, which is Champions Hill. Now, as far as today, it comes out at 10 a.m. Pacific time. You may be wondering how I have some gameplay early at 8 a.m. Pacific time. I was actually fortunate enough to get asked by Activision and Sledgehammer to play it a little bit early, bring you guys some gameplay, and show what you're getting yourselves into. And I have to say, it is a pretty cool game mode. It's something like we haven't really seen before in a Call of Duty game. The closest comparison would be gunfight mixed with a battle royale. But in this video, we are going to be breaking down exactly what this actually is and how it works. And I'm going to talk about some good things about it. I'm going to talk about some bad things about it and the overall gameplay and explain to you how it actually works. On top of this, when the alpha actually goes live, I'm actually going to be live streaming. I haven't live streamed over on Twitch in probably almost a year. You guys have been asking about it when I'm going to do it again, and today is going to be the start of that. So if you want to check out my Twitch, it'll be linked down in the description. As soon as the beta goes live, I'll be streaming over there. Can answer some of your questions. We can have some chats, enjoy the day. So if you want to check that out, link down in the description. But for now, let's talk about what Champions Hill actually is.
Welcome to Champion Hill, friends. Your team has a whole bunch of lives. Lose all your lives and you're eliminated. Last team standing wins. Grab some gear at those buy stations. Take out opponents, get cash. Easy. You can also grab some cash off the ground.
So the guy with the gruff voice actually does a pretty good job of explaining what Champions Hill is. However, he misses a couple things. So right away when you spawn in, you're kind of in this circular area where you can buy things. There's a couple of different buy stations, very similar to buy stations in Warzone. And some of the things that you can buy are weapons, perks, score streaks, and equipment like stuns, flashes, grenades, things along those lines. Now, as far as what are the best things to buy, we'll dive into that later on in the video, but you can also upgrade your weapons as well, which we will talk about in a little bit. Now, once you actually get in a game, this is where the fun actually starts. You're going to notice that your team has 12 lives total, just like every other team. Now, there are two ways that you can get more lives. In every single round that you play, there is one extra live that spawns in generally somewhere near the middle of the map. It looks like a little circular token you can pick up. There's also money on the ground that you can pick up as well. On top of that, whenever you kill an enemy, they drop money and armor. So you equip armor, which gives you more health, just like Warzone. You don't actually have to put it on like Warzone, but as soon as you pick it up, you have it. You can also buy full armor in the buy zone and the buy rounds at the very beginning. So you get money, you get armor every single time you kill someone, and if you fully eliminate a team, so you take away all 12 lives, they drop all of their weapons, all of their gear, and all of their money as well. So that's really the best way to get a whole bunch of cash. So each round has a time limit, and at the end, for the first one that there you saw, we took out 5 of the enemy's lives, they took out 3 of ours. Now you're going to see right here in the middle of the map, I run and pick up the extra life token, so that brings our team back to 10 total lives. So the other thing that you probably noticed between the first and second round is that we are on a different map. So essentially the way that this works is that little circular thing where you buy stuff is at the very beginning in the middle of 4 maps. There are 4 total maps that you can play on that are all very different. The first one that you saw us play on was very circular. It's probably my least favorite of the 4 areas. This one, we'll call it Train Station. This one's probably my favorite map, and the reason why I say that is there's just a lot of good lines of sight. You can traverse the map really well with a lot of cover, and I just really enjoy it. There's another one that you're going to see in this gameplay that is very strange because you can literally just spawn trap someone constantly. We'll get to that once we move to that map. You will also notice that in between rounds, you have kind of this randomizer that puts you up against a completely random team. Now, after every third round, there's also a buy round where you can go back and buy stuff. We'll get to that in a second. Real quickly though, while you watch this, I wanted to just quickly talk about the gameplay. As soon as you play this, you're going to realize that this game feels a lot more like Modern Warfare than it does Cold War, which to me is a very good thing. Now, of course, there's some bad things with that as well. Doors are back, which I don't love. Mounting is back, which I don't love, but the game feels really fluid and feels really good. Almost the best way I can explain it is a 1-to-1 ratio between what you do on your controller and what your character does in game. Feels really, really smooth. Now, one thing you may be wondering compared to my normal gameplay is why does it look like I'm moving so slow, and what are the graphics actually like? So here I am playing on a PS5 on 120 hertz. It actually feels pretty good, but I'm used to playing on PC. So it's nowhere near as good as when I normally play on PC. There was no field of view slider, which if you remember back in Black Ops Cold War, in the alpha for that, there was also no FOV slider either. So we don't know whether it'll be in the final game or not, but my fingers are crossed. Hopefully it will be. The other thing I found is that the maps look a little bit dusty. This could partially be because the graphics are a little bit worse on PlayStation than they are on PC, and I'm just not used to that. Or it could be the design they went for. Now, here is the buy round. So what you're going to see me buy here is the DP-27, which is an LMG, and then I also buy a spy plane. So the way that the spy plane works is you can buy one, and then in the next round that you play, you'll have a spy plane for that entire round, which is very good unless the enemies buy Ghost, which is a perk. The next thing you see me do with my money is upgrade my DP-27 like crazy. So now I have a scope on it, some other attachments, and one of the best attachments that you can get on your weapons is either a larger magazine or, even more importantly, in my opinion, FMJ. FMJ in this is basically explosive bullets, and they are really, really insane. The DP-27 was my second favorite weapon within the alpha. The other one that was really good was the MP-40. Now, speaking of the MP-40, this is one of the coolest things about this mode, in my opinion, is there's different types of games that you can get into. So for example, at the very beginning of this one, we spawned in with the Thompson. There's also another type where you spawn in with the MP-40, and I'm assuming once the game is actually fully released, there'll be a bunch of different types of these. Now, once you actually do this, you'll notice that in the buy station where you can buy weapons, if you spawn in with the Thompson, there is one set of weapons with which you can buy. For example, with the Thompson, you could buy the bar and you could buy the DP-27, whereas when you spawned in with the MP-40, there's a different set of weapons. And for example, when I had that, I was buying the STG, which was also another really good weapon. So this next map and this next area that we're playing here is really small, and the spawn traps on it are really insane. On top of this, you're going to notice that some of the walls have been destroyed here. Normally, all of these are covered in wood planks, but as the rounds go on, these wood planks don't respawn after every game, so it becomes more wide open. But what you're going to notice is we're down on lives right away, and we come back and absolutely destroy in this because we control the spawns really, really well, and essentially there's nothing the other team can do. And in fact, at the very end of this, we do the exact same thing on this map, and it is the reason why we actually win. Now, another big problem with this map is when you spawn in, if you just shoot straight across the map, it is the exact spot that the enemies spawn, so you can get spawn kills as well. And if you have a sniper rifle, it's even crazier. So essentially what I'm saying is even on some of the bigger maps, the spawns are a little bit janky, and you can really pull some insane spawn traps. And I think that's one of the things that we'll see over the weekend adjusted is those spawns, because the spawn traps are really insane. And as you're going to see here, being able to shoot through the walls, it makes it even more insane. So closer towards the end game, as you're going to see here, you really need to prioritize your lives. And essentially the way that we do this is in three different ways. One, you make sure that you don't die. On top of that, you make sure that when you spawn into every round, you go and get the life token right away, because that gives you an extra life. And on top of that, what you're going to see in this round is we eliminate an enemy team. So the enemy team here has 2 lives, and pretty much right away, we take out both of their players. And when we do so, they drop all of their equipment. So this is all of their weapons, equipment, and most importantly, money. Now, you're going to see in a second why that money is so important. Keep in mind that right now we have 4 lives. However, in the next round, we get a buy round, and because we've eliminated some teams, we have a good amount of money. So we take a bunch of our money, as much as we can, and invest it in lives. So instead of having 4 lives and being close to last place, now we have 7 lives and are very close to first place. Now, some of the other things that I buy here are some perks. So the first one that I get is High Alert, and what this does is warns me when someone's looking at me. Another good choice here is Ghost, because then if someone buys a spy plane, you don't show up on their spy plane as long as you're moving, which is very big because remember that spy plane lasts for the entire round. Now, there are some other really ridiculous things that you can buy. So for example, there are some score streaks. So one is called, I believe, the Franken gun, and it is essentially the death machine, and it is ridiculous. It shoots explosive bullets. Even if you don't shoot the person directly, it still damages them. It is ridiculous. On top of that, there's another one, which is a flamethrower, and essentially with the flamethrower, it also gives you a juggernaut suit. So on top of that, you have a whole bunch of health. You're running around with a flamethrower, and it is very difficult to actually kill that person. person. So yes, buying extra lives is probably the most beneficial thing you can buy. At the same time, there are also some really fun things you can buy, and if you're in a really good position and already have a bunch of lives, that might be something you consider doing just to make it a lot harder on the enemy team. So I think tomorrow, after I get my hands on some more gameplay, not necessarily playing against pros and other streamers and things like that, I'm gonna have a video tomorrow going over my full opinions on the game mode and how the game feels, and we'll break that down tomorrow. But as for now, I'm really enjoying this, and I'm gonna be playing more today. So like I said before, if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to go check out the live stream link down below. I will answer all of your questions. But as far as the rest of this game of Champions Hill, you're gonna find out that we take the W pretty solidly. And really, my only complaint about winning this is nothing really special happens. There's no cutscene like there is in Warzone, and I thought there would be. Basically, it just pops up and says victory and says everything that you did, how many kills you got, so on and so forth. That's basically the end of Champions Hill. So let me know what you think of this down in the comments. If you're playing this weekend, let me know what you think. Also, if you enjoyed the video, always appreciate it if you hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, want to stay up to date on my videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this to us.